We're going to take a live look outside of our Savannah cams, and wow, it's looking like how it's looked all weekend out there. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Hannah Evans is here with your forecast first. Good morning, Hannah.
Good morning, Tyler. Well, we are waking up this morning to some rain in just some parts of the area. And if we zoom in on our Viper radar here, we already have an aerial flood advisory issued for parts of Screven County, including Sylvania through 10:30, just because it has been raining really hard there over the past hour, where some areas within the flood advisory already seeing right around 4 to 5 inches of rain just within the past hour or so. So that is why that flood advisory has been issued through 10:30. We're also seeing a few showers over towards the island and around the Savannah area as well. Also a few showers out towards Hinesville, Metter, and Rankins. Just have that umbrella nearby throughout the day today because we're still tracking moisture from the stalled front, and that is what is providing us with these showers and storms today. So we'll keep that rain chance around over the next few hours, and it does become a little bit more widespread this afternoon and evening as our highs stay below average in the upper 70s and lower 80s, and then we are under a level 2 risk for the possibility of excessive rainfall, especially south of 16. So I will talk a little bit more about this in just a few minutes. Tyler.
Thanks, Hannah. New this morning, the Savannah Fire Department responded to an early morning house fire that happened around 5:40 to the O block of Mistletoe Court. It took fire crews under 15 minutes to put out the fire, and we are told that 3 residents and several pets have been displaced. Earlier this week, a judge temporarily blocked the city of Savannah from enforcing its horse-drawn carriage heat ordinance. That decision comes after 3 carriage tour companies filed a lawsuit claiming that the city's rules conflict with a new state law that was signed by Governor Brian Kemp. The horse-drawn carriage ordinance was controversial from the very beginning, and now Act 379, signed by Governor Kemp in April, conflicts with the ordinance. According to the lawsuit filed by 3 Savannah carriage tour companies, the law bars governments from regulating livestock and livestock owners on a public road. Just this week, the court ruled a temporary restraining order that keeps the city from enforcing temperature regulations until that next court hearing. Attorney Michael Chavone says the plaintiffs are most likely in the right.
The way it was written, it was destined to fail. The city of Savannah couldn't enact a local ordinance that conflicts with that state statute. If it does, then the local ordinance is void and unenforceable.
Horse-drawn carriages will remain a Savannah staple for now, and this restraining order will be in place until the next hearing, which is on June 5th. Chatham County leaders are proposing a more than $1.1 billion budget for the 2027 fiscal year. There's a major focus on public safety, road projects, and community services. That proposed spending plan would keep the county's millage rate dozens of new positions and millions of dollars in capital improvements. 8 new positions across county government, including 23 new fire department jobs, behavioral health staff, and more non-emergency call takers, and additional court and detention center employees as well. The plan also invests heavily in infrastructure and recreation projects. Under the newly approved SPLOST program, county leaders are proposing major road improvements for Quaco Road, Little Neck Road, Bush Road, and Ogeechee Road. The budget also includes money for drainage projects, sidewalks and trails, and a new indoor recreation facility. At Lake Mayer, $2 million is proposed for upgrades for the parking lot and recreation spaces. County commissioners will hold public hearings in June before they take a final vote. Well, heads up for residents in Pooler, public comment will no longer be allowed at the end of city council meetings. This comes after recent meetings drew in large crowds and public discussions. The city plans to move to a new 24/7 online system where residents can submit concerns, questions, and comments. Mayor Karen Williams tells WSAV that this does not change or does not eliminate opportunities for residents to speak during required public hearings or other agenda items. She adds that this was done with the intention of creating a more accessible and organized process to ensure that the public's voice is heard. The city of Hardeeville has announced that more improvements are coming to Highway 278 over the next few weeks. Construction will begin the weekend of June 7th at the intersection of Latitude Boulevard, and is expected to be done by June 26th. Now, people traveling through that area should expect lane changes and some minor travel delays, but in an effort to reduce daytime traffic impacts, work will take place between 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. Well, it is summer break for many Chatham County students, but when they return to class, their devices may not be coming with them. Governor Brian Kemp recently signed a law requiring Georgia high schools to enforce a bell-to-bell ban on personal electronic devices during instructional hours. Now, while the statewide requirement doesn't take effect until the 2027-2028 school year, Savannah Chatham County schools are already moving forward with their own plan. WSAV's Nakia Harris with how the new policy will work.
Locked phone pouches and device lockers. This is how the Savannah Chatham County school system plans to limit phone use on campus after district leaders say devices were becoming a distraction in the classroom.
We also saw that some teachers felt like the phones were a huge distraction and a power struggle between themselves and the students when they would try to, correct the behavior.
Instructional Technology and Media Services Director Samantha King says the district wanted more consistency for families with students at multiple schools. For K-8 students, phones will be stored in locking device boxes during the school day.
It can hold up to 42 devices. So the students would, upon entering the building for the day, they would go to homeroom, they would power off their device, and then they would turn in their device into their assigned slot.
High school students will use signal blocking phone pouches.
This is a locking, signal blocking pouch that students will store their personal cell phones inside of prior to entering the weapons detection.
The district says there will still be exceptions for students who need devices for medical or educational purposes.
It's a Velcro pouch. It does not block the signal.
Parents have also raised concerns about how they will reach their children during emergencies or transportation changes. King says the front office will remain the primary point of contact, while high school students can also receive emails through their school accounts.
We take all measures very seriously to maintain the safety and security of our students. If there's ever an event that there's a safety concern, that will be communicated to parents via all district channels.
WSAV is your local election headquarters, and early voting continues in South Carolina. Voters will choose candidates for governor, U.S. Senate, several House districts, and some local offices during this election. Now, voting locations in South Carolina will be open Monday through Friday from 8:30 in the morning until 5 o'clock at night, ahead of the state primary, which is going to be happening on June 9th. With elections being a hot topic across generations, Gen Z is getting involved in the discussion. Hannah London from our sister station in Columbus explains the impact that social media is having on the mind of new voters.
In the recent election, people between the ages of 18 and 24 had nearly 18,000 registered voters here in Muskogee County. However, only 10% were active voters. Leading active voters this election was the age group of 65 through 69-year-olds. Gen Z says they're getting their information online.
I would say as a communication major, I'm constantly online. I'm constantly doing marketing and campaigns and stuff. So I feel like I know that social media is going to be the future. And so I think that is something that I will utilize all the time. So especially when it comes to politics and stuff, I think it's no different.
With social media use being at an all-time high for Gen Z, many are gathering their information about politics through social media.
I think there's a lot of negative propaganda online where I think a lot of young voters are brainwashed to believe that our vote doesn't matter, and that because people who are above the ages of 40 plus, there's a lot more than there are of 20-year-olds. And so when they go out and they flood the voting polls and stuff, we think that their vote's going to count more than our votes, but that's not true.
Nancy Boren runs elections and voting in Muskogee County and is getting creative with how they can attract young voters.
So we have a poll worker program here in Muskogee County at one of our local high schools, and we try to attract those younger poll workers, show them the importance of the voting process and keep them engaged. Even after they go to college, I think it's programs like that that will help, but ultimately the voter just has to be interested.
Moving forward, that might not be the case. Social media can increase the number of voters between 18 and 24 if used right.
So social media impacts the interest of voters. They enjoy seeing the candidates, seeing them talk and give their platforms. But when it comes down to actual voting, I'm not sure how much it influences the vote.
That was Hannah London reporting. Meanwhile, now a group called May Matters is pushing for big turnout in Georgia's June 16th runoff. Major races, including governor and U.S. Senate, are on the ballot. Early voting runs June 8th through the 12th, and officials say runoff turnout often drops, so local leaders are trying to keep voters engaged.
It is really easy to vote in Georgia. We have multiple days of early voting, multiple locations all over Chatham County. And then, of course, on Election Day, plenty of polling places open across the county as well. So I think that the access is there. It's just we need the interest.
For more information on the races and candidates, polling places, important dates, and a lot more, both in Georgia and South Carolina, just visit WSAV.com/electionhq.